Um, Hi everyone. In today's presentation, I'll be teaching about one of the most powerful sculptures from the ancient Greece, the seated boxer. This artwork was made sometime around 150 BCE during the Hellenistic period, and it's one of the best examples of how Greek art evolved from idealized perfection to deeply emotional realism. So let's explore its background, its artistic details, and why it's still considered one of the masterpieces of ancient sculpture. This is the art piece. To understand the sculpture, we first need to understand the world it came from. After the conquests of Alexander the Great in the 4th century BCE, Greek culture kind they spread across the Mediterranean Sea and Asia. This created the Hellenistic period, time when artists began exploring new themes, emotion, movements, and realism, rather than just ideal beauty. The seated boxer reflects that shift. Instead of showing a perfect young athlete in a classical art, it shows an older man worn down from battle. And this reflects how the Hellenistic art began to focus more on human condition, struggle, defeat, and resilience. Now, let's look closely at the sculpture itself. The seated boxer is made of bronze and copper inlays, used to highlight the blood, wounds, and lips. You can see scratches and swelling under his eyes. The sculpture paid incredible attention to the detail of exhaustion and injury. He's not standing tall in victory, but sitting slumped and resting. His body is muscular, but tired. His hands are wrapped, his head is turned as if looking at his opponent or maybe the crowd. This pose was revolutionary for Greek art because most athletes were shown upright and heroic, whereas this boxer, by contrast, is really human. He's strong, but he's much more vulnerable. It's easier to connect with him. Uh, for style and technique, so here you can see how much has changed since the classical period. Compare this first photo, Polykletos Doryphorus, which shows a calm, ideal athlete in perfect balance, what the Greeks called symmetria, kind of like symmetry. The seated boxer instead uses pathos, emotions appeal to connect the viewer. You can almost feel his pain and his endurance. The body still shows contrapposto, which is the natural rate shift, but the purpose has changed. Now it's about exhaustion and humanity and not as much divine perfection. This shows how the Hellenistic artists broke away from idealism and brought emotion and storytelling into the scripture. Symbolism and interpretation. The seated boxer can be interpreted as more than just a sports figure. Many scholars believe it represents human endurance, a man who's lost but still dignified. In Hellenistic culture, this emotion realism was meant to draw empathy from viewers. It's possible the statue even depicts a real athlete or memorial to one. And according to Smart History, this sculpture breathes empathy, as they say. It makes you feel for him, not just admire his physique like other sculptures. That emotion connection is exactly what makes Hellenistic art so unique. Historical significance. In terms of art history, the seated boxer is extremely significant. It marks the final phase of Greek sculpture, where artists focused on emotion, realism, and individual identity. It also influences later Roman portraiture, especially how the Romans portrayed age and experience. Interestingly, This statue was rediscovered in 1885 in Rome on the Corellino Hill. It is found sitting upright as if still waiting after centuries. And that art helped historians better understand how Greek art transitioned into Roman art. Um, Personally, I think what makes the seated boxers so powerful is how it blends strength with vulnerability. You can tell he's endured pain and lost, but he hasn't given up. It feels incredibly modern, almost like he's aware of time, exhaustion, and struggle. Um, so, this artwork reminds us that even in ancient Greece, artists were exploring what it means to be human, to fight, fail, and still endure. That emotional realism is why this piece continues to move people even today. These are the main sources I use for my research: Smart History, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and the John Griffiths Pedales Greek Art and Archaeology. I also consulted the National Roman Museum's online archives for some technical details on the bronze casting and the restoration process. Thank you.